Well, that wasn't my question, I'm just passing the question on. And my question is, there was a poll on the Get Bracknell website, which is linked to the Bracknell Forest Standard. 65% of people who responded to that poll said that you have lost the trust of the constituency and you should step down as Bracknell MP after this. 21% said no, you've been a good MP for Bracknell over 25 years. And 14% said you should be investigated before they'll make a decision. So nearly 2/3 of the people who responded have said that you should step down. And I spoke to them today, and there were 628 votes for that poll, and that is more than double what normally happens for polls that they run on their website. Normally it's between 200 and 300, so clearly the feeling is very strong, and about 2/3 of people feel that you should step down. So I'd like you to respond to those questions, please.
Can I quickly take each of those in turn? I hope I've answered why I believe I should continue to be the Member of Parliament, but I'm putting myself before both the local Conservative Party who decide whether I should be the candidate and then the electors. And I would wish to stand again because of the work that I want to continue to do in this constituency. In respect of any money that might be returned, I was very, very clear on the national news coverage on the morning that this is being investigated. The Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition and Leader of the Liberal Democrats, together with the Speaker, set up an independent body that is looking at everybody's claims and is going to say what, if any, in any claim should be repaid. And I made it very clear straight away that any money that I am asked to repay, I most certainly will, and that is a very clear pledge. I hear what you say on your own blogging poll.
No, sorry, Mr. Mackay, it wasn't my poll, it was on the Get Bracknell
website. I thought you were Get Bracknell there.
No.
Oh, sorry.
No,
sorry.
I'm nothing to do with Get Bracknell, I was just referring to the poll.
All right, on that poll. And all I can say is that I've also been out and about a lot. I've also had a lot of emails for and against. And my figures are not the same as that, but I think that this is something that will have to be decided on by the local Conservative Party and by myself.
Right, thank you. Gentlemen here, please. It would be helpful if you could identify yourself, and if you belong to a particular organisation, if you'd like to sort of name that organisation, but it would be good to have your name, please. So.
First of all, my name is Dennis Good, and I've lived in the borough for 42 years. First of all, Andrew, I'd like to thank you for taking the time and trouble to come tonight. It must be very difficult for you. My question really is, and I think it goes to the moral consciousness of not just you, but MPs that are in the spotlight. And to me, that's important. And I think we should get the facts out here. The figure of money in the region that you claim for was in the region of £140,000 over 7 years, I believe. It would appear that you and your wife would appear to have 2 second homes and not a main home. I may be wrong, but you had 2 second homes. And my question really is, and I took the time and trouble today to print off the Green Book. That's the book of members' allowances in Parliament. It contains 72 pages. And I just want to read out a couple of paragraphs or a couple of sentences from it.
Could you just proceed?
I will. It says here, could the claim in any way damage the reputation of Parliament or its members? That's one of the guiding principles. How comfortable do I feel with the knowledge that my claim will be available to the public under the freedom of information? Claims should be above reproach. I think it's a very sad day because I've been involved in politics for 20 odd years. I've always argued it's a good vocation to be involved in. It's important for this country. But for me, and we all raise children and grandchildren here, and we try and instill them a sense of moral value of what's important. And basically, as an ordinary working guy, I think a number of you in particular, have basically been on the make of the system, on the fiddle, so to speak, as I call it. My last point is, there must have been a point, because there is a point in everyone's consciousness when they say, is this claim right? And anyone, by any stretch of the imagination, who even thought for a few moments to say, can I justify this? I think they wouldn't have claimed it. So morally, your conscience let you down.
Dennis, you and I get back a long way. I value you as a political opponent, and I know that what you were saying today is not as a political opponent, but as a concerned constituent. What I would say is that, no, it had not occurred to me, and it might seem wrong and shameful, but I had asked for advice, and this was passed by the police office, and it fits in with the rules in the same Green Book about second and main homes. I now accept totally, and that is why I've apologised, but it doesn't look right. I've accepted that completely. And I just again...
It's not right, Andrew.
Question please.
Hello, my name is Terry Pearce. I've lived in Bracknell for nearly 40 years now. And I'm so angry about this, like a lot of other people here. I work with a number of community groups, people on fixed incomes, pensioners, who don't have the same opportunity as you've had to fill the books. These people are feeling the real pain of this crisis, and it is the hypocrisy and double standards that I find disgusting. Now, and the other thing that worries me is, because of the action of people like yourself, we could in fact end up with extremist candidates running around the country. And you are, and people like you, are partially responsible for that. I think it's an absolute disgrace, and you should stand down immediately.
What about an answer to that?
Yes, respond. Respond.
Two more, and he will respond.
Respond now!
I'll take one more question here.
Respond to the question.
Get him to respond.
David, I will respond, but I think it's easier when there's general repetition. Mr. Pearce did not say anything that Dennis Good did not say. And I think if I continue to repeat myself, which is the only way I can answer the questions, I'm anxious for other questions to come forward. I have nothing to add to what I've said earlier.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not going to work. If we're going to shut up, we will try and get as many people to ask their questions and get Mr. Mackay to answer. Would the gentleman in the blue shirt, please?
Hello, my name's Bob Ridge. I'm born and bred in the town. You talked earlier about the archaic scheme, and you've been at the forefront in the Conservative Party of reform, but you just don't get it, do you? You've carried on claiming, you and all the MPs have kept milking it, and milking it, and it's got to stop, and it's got to stop now, okay? And one other question, you might seem a bit silly, but have you ever claimed for food?
Within the second home allowance, you can see it, there have been some modest claims of food. That's the answer. Can I just finish? But your earlier point as well, which is important, is that I do believe that the expenses need to be reformed and reformed quickly. We have made it very clear that whereas we welcome Sir Christopher Kelly, the chairman of the Standards Commission, having a full inquiry into all our expenses, coming up with proposals, we can't wait that long, and that is why I was pleased that the Prime Minister, leader of the opposition, leader of the Liberal Democrat Party, together with the Speaker, actually moved forward a number of proposals that were implemented straight away last week. That's a move in the right direction. The fundamental changes have to come when Kelly reports.
Thank you. Gentlemen,
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
It was just a point about the food. Are we expected to believe that if you was an MP, then you wouldn't eat?
Gentlemen up here, please.
Thank you. My name is Simon Lloyd. I'm a resident of Bracknell, and I'm here. I represent the Bracknell Forest Leaseholders Association. And my questions that I've gathered from my residents today are: is it possible, and would you like to give your explanation to why all the apologies and remedial actions that we're seeing, including